Hello and welcome to Copic in the Craft Room. It's Michelle Houghton here, and today I'm going to be coloring up these adorable frogs from My Favorite Things. This is a recent release, and again, happy images. I love these little guys. So I stamped up several of them. We're going to work on these three. And I'm doing a couple things. I'm just going to color them super easy. And I'm using a series of BGs. I've got BG 90, 93, and 96. So I'm keeping it super easy. I'm basing the entire frog in that BG 90. And then I'm going to use the next two colors to add some shading. First off, I'm going to block off his tummy. I'm going to leave that lighter. And now I've got that BG 93, and I'm basically filling in the rest of the frog. So other than his tummy, the rest of him gets filled in with that. And then I'm using the BG 96 to add a little bit of shading. And then actually, I think I've got a BG 99 in my pocket here too. I need to go back and add that to my list of markers used. Yep, BG 99. So I'm coming in those deepest areas, right at the corners, right into the webbing of his feet. And then I'm smoothing that out by working in reverse, back down to the BG. This is a jump to that BG 93 and smoothing that out. I'm using a little bit of colorless blender to add some dots on his skin, and that's an easy way to add dots. The first one I've got up is the General's charcoal pencil. And what I'm trying to do is lighten up his belly even more. And it's really adding as much shading as anything, or highlight, kind of softening up that side and brightening up that left-hand side a little bit. Now, charcoal does smear a little bit, so I'm kind of pushing it around with my finger just to test it, but it's actually not coming up a whole lot. Don't worry, I will show you on a darker color. This is Opaque is another opaque white paint pen. This is their fine one, and I'm going through and just adding like little hatch marks to see if I can get some good hatch marks. It's actually colors fairly smoothly. It's extremely opaque white. And then I'm cleaning up his eyes. Now this is going to go super fast, but I'm doing Froggy number 2 in exactly the same series of BGs, but I sped it way up so that we can focus on the whites, because you've seen me color the first frog, and I'm going to do this guy exactly the same. BG 90, BG 93, BG 96, and BG 99. Same areas, kind of a central lighting situation, so he gets darker towards his sides, his underarms, and his little feet. Then I'm going to try my Prismacolor white colored pencil to do the same thing that I did with the charcoal. Now on this particular image, this isn't showing up quite as much. It's a little bit lighter. It's not as dark. Now obviously this was a light area to begin with, and then I'm going in and adding some dots with the white pencil. Now you're going to see hopefully that I'm twisting it. So I set the pencil down, do a little twist, and then lift up, and it's adding these little dots or texture onto his little skin, and that works fairly well. I'm trying to darken it up a little bit. It's not doing exactly what I want, but that's okay. Frog number 3. Again, I feel like I should be doing some crazy music in the background to show how fast this is going. This is about as fast as I can make it and have you guys still see my hands. But it's BG 90, BG 93, BG 96, and here comes that BG 99. Same colors, same effect. Getting some of those details in and really just blending that back together with that BG 93. So now I've got a Sharpie. Now if you're using Sharpie, they have two kinds of paint pens. Make sure you get the water base, not the oil base. This is water based. It either is going to say water based on the side, or it will say poster paint. Both of those are water based. Do not get the oil based. It will ruin your craft projects. That works pretty good. I've had this one for a long time, so it's gumming up just a little bit, but again, it works very opaque. This is a Curarina Wink. Now this has a little dimension to it when it dries. It also has a tiny bit of shimmer to it when it dries, and you're not going to get a super fine line. Now this is the other one that everyone hands me as their favorite white pen. It's a white pen by Ranger. And I've had a lot of people tell me that they really, really love this pen. I struggle with this particular pen. I play with different pressures, how light, how heavy, and I struggle. I've got some dots on there that I added, but it's not doing exactly what I want it to. And then I'm going to try adding a few more dots on this poor little frog all the way to the right with my Copic opaque white. Now these guys now come in those little kind of jars that look like nail polish with a long brush. This one has been abused because it traveled with me, but it works and is very bright white. The thing to be cautious of with any of the paint, whether it's in a pen or a jar, is that you do it last and set your project to the side, because it will smear, and if your hand goes across your page, you are going to smear that paint. It's paint, it is wet, and it does take time to dry. So make sure you do it. You're going to see me actually smear one here in a minute. So this is that charcoal. And then right next to it, here comes the colored pencil. So on the darker color, you can see, and I'm trying to smear both of them just to see what happens. There was a tiny bit of smearing on the charcoal, and here comes some dots. Now they do smear. Here comes the dots with the colored pencil. Again, this is Prismacolor, and really don't smear at all. They sit, but you can see how some of the smearing happens. Here's this Posca Uni, and it's a paint pen again. I really am liking that one though, but it's very, very similar to the Sharpie. Again, very similar feel, very similar look. Both have a beautiful opaque white. If that's what you're looking for, make sure you have water-based in the Sharpie. The next thing down is my Curarina Wink. Again, a little bit broader line, and you're not going to get any finer than that. It does have some dimension to it and a little bit of shimmer. And at least right here, it's not showing quite as bright. This one you definitely have to take some time to shake. So then I've got this other one that people say they kind of like, and I'm struggling, and that's why I keep trying. It's like, okay, maybe if I do a little bit lighter, maybe I need to go a little heavier, maybe if I don't twist or kind of just circle on my dots to get dots. And I end up with two things, either lines that kind of break and don't continue, or if I get a continuous line, it seems to have the hole in the middle where it kind of pushes the ink to either side of the roller ball. So I'm not a big fan. Underneath over here, I'm going to add some dots with that Copic white and some lines. Now, two things here. That brush is destroyed, and so I need a better brush. And I could use a regular paintbrush and dip it in to get that beautiful fine line. I could also do better for dots if I did that as well. Eventually here though, I accidentally wipe my hands through that opaque white and it ends up on my page. But this gives you a sense of some of those different opaque whites that you can use over the top of your Copic markers. We have the general charcoal white and the Prismacolor pencil. We have the Posca Uni, and then the Sharpie, and then the Curarina. Those are my faves. I do like those top two, and I like both the charcoal, and I keep trying to smear it more and seeing if I can smudge it, and there it goes. See, I got my finger in the Copic opaque white, and now it's all over. So I'm trying to rub it off to see if it really would come off, but it actually, if you're really just trying to lighten an area, you probably could do it there. So when you have a chance, stop by over at scrapweaver.com, see all my live stuff going on if you are interested. Thank you so much for stopping by Copic in the Craft Room today. I always appreciate it. Make sure to like the video and follow the channel. Thank you, My Favorite Things, for the fun stamps. Everybody have a happy, colorful day.